Hi guys, in this video I would like to give you a briefing of what you're going to um, do for your coursework, as a group for your coursework in this semester. So as you know it earlier, I have mentioned that you're going to actually do two things. First is to prepare a report on medicinal chemistry, and that carries about 60 marks. And the second one is to actually prepare or create a website that has a message of health awareness or social changes. Yeah, and that will carry 40 marks. Yeah, so let's just go through um, the guidelines. Yeah, so the total marks for this particular coursework is 10%. Yeah, and it's a group work. There are about 10 or 11 of you in a group, and the key thing here is please do not plagiarize. Yeah, it's not even tolerated as well at all. Yeah, and second is that the format, usually it's about A4, and the font that is recommended is Arial. Yeah, and the main thing now is that it should not be more than 10 pages. In other words, if it is 11 pages and above, uh, I wouldn't consider it as a submission. So please make it brief, and try to rephrase a lot of the things that you're actually going to read, out there. Okay, I think the rest you can actually go and read. Yeah. Um, so you can follow the similar format like as in this guideline, and also for the website, each group, so this is going to be a group work, will create an interactive website um, for that particular assigned drug or disease. Yeah, and it should have actually a home page and two pages with content. Yeah? At the end, there is a call for action as well. And in that website, you should also have a video. Last year used to be 10 minutes. Now I've cut it down to 3 minutes. Yeah, and also a group photo. Yeah? So the deadline is the 5th of December this year. Right now, in the report, so what shall I do for the report? What shall you do for the report? So the report for the report, you need to see your supervisor hopefully next week. If you see your supervisor later, then you have less time to actually do a proper report and a website. So I would actually encourage you to go and see your supervisor next week. Yeah, and you'll be given a PDB code. In this case, for example, is 4KQR. This is a PDB website, at rcsb.org. Okay, and the code is 4KQR. Okay, and that would be the enzyme, okay, or the protein structure. This is what you have already learned in the first year, in the second semester, under FAR 142. Yeah, that is basic pharmacology and biochemistry, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So now I would like to actually extend the concept and the principles that you have learned in that particular course in this medicinal chemistry course. Yeah. So you see, this is the structure in PDB. You can actually manipulate it. Yeah. And as well, if you go deeper, you can actually zoom it down. There, this is actually an enzyme. I think it's a beta lactamase. Let's have it. This is penicillin binding protein. Yeah, it binds. So in complex with the penicillic acid. Okay. So if you zoom down, you can see that you can actually zoom down it. You can see now we are actually going into the structure. Just imagine that you're actually flying into the structure of these amino acids, all the loops, protein loops going in, and now that is the complex. That is the the penicilloic acid inbound, yeah, with the protein. Okay, so later you can actually play around with it. Yeah, you can actually, later you can play around with it. You can make it. You can actually change the different style, for example, different colors by, for example, by solid structure. You can have different. You can also change the ligand into space fill, make it into volumes. Yeah, so literally you just zoom down that. Yeah. So later you can play around with it. Okay, you have more time. In the report, not more than 10 pages. Yeah, there are about 6 sections. You should actually introduce your drug and your protein briefly, and then you will talk about the drug nomenclature of that particular drug given. Yeah, and then you'll see the drug protein structure you just seen earlier, and you also seen, or you also will talk about molecular modeling, and then you also actually examine a little bit into the physical chemical properties of the drug. Yeah, and lastly, with all that in mind, when you have with all this information in mind, when you have information on the on section B, C, D, E. Part section F is where you start to apply what you have learned in the earlier section. This is the part that you actually will connect the dot. So at the end of the day, for the report, a group need to suggest one modification for a lead molecule or for an existing drug, yeah, based on information they have gathered so far. So I would actually imagine that you actually discuss these among each other. I know earlier that you have divide the work. Yeah, I know there's a big group. You actually divide the work into different sections. Yeah, different people doing different sections. But I hope when it comes to section F, when you actually come to section F, you would sit together and discuss what could be the one modification needed to make it into a better drug. Now, let's go to the website. Yeah. So for the website, I have prepared a rubric for you. So now you have a better idea of what kind of things is expected from you. Yeah, when actually create a website. So generally, it should have a good content, text, citation. It should also have formatting, appearances. It should have a good layout, and check also spelling, punctuation, grammar. And if you see that's going down, yeah, if you see across 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, these are the marks given for the website. Yeah, so depending on what you put in, yeah, how you design it, it would actually help you determine whether are you on the right track of creating a good website or not. Yeah, and let's just see to a few more. Then you'll be also assessed on graphics and one video, very short video, yeah, and then navigation bar and buttons, creativity, and at the end is the audience interaction. So in these audience interactions, I would actually would love that once you actually finish with your website, which I expect you to sort of finish it maybe like 3 weeks, 4 weeks earlier, yeah, perhaps, yeah. Okay. You also try to promote it to your friends, to your families, to your peers, in USM or maybe in other universities, and see whether you can have likes or comments or views, and see whether they actually like your website. Yeah. So for your website, we're going to actually use Weebly, and Weebly is one of the easiest website creator or maker that you can actually have here. You can go through that, yeah. But I will be giving you a workshop on this, so maybe not all can come, yeah. Perhaps you can select those people who are really interested in learning how to make a website, yeah, maybe one or two, and we'll book a Kai lab, and we'll sit down maybe for about a couple of hours and see what you can put in here. Yeah. The most important thing is that at least you have to have at least some materials to work with. Yeah. So make sure that you have the content to actually work with. You have also the images. We also have the, for example, you also have the images from the enzymes and also the drug. Yeah. So these are very important later. Example of a good website also can be like this. Yeah. If I actually enter the slide, for example, a very simple website. Say, for example, I'll take this one. All right. And you can see this is one page. We go on. This is about water. Yeah. And then the two pages, two page down there, and that's it. Very short. Yeah. Very short and sweet. So that this is another really cool. You can see the in terms of colors, in terms of the avatar that they actually use here, and it's called IDIN. This is this website. It's for drug info, yeah, and it's called idin.com. Yeah, you can see how simple it is. The main things that you need to work together. So don't create your head alone. Please work together. Yeah, and so at the end of the day, you're going to prepare a report, yeah, and also create a website, a very simple website, yeah. And please make sure that you see your supervisor next week, in week 3, so that you can already you can get the topic, and he or she will actually brief you on the project. Okay, so thank you very much. So I see you in the class next week.